How's the saying go? Desperate times call for desperate measures, and if you happen to be one of the many currently sinking Titanics, nothing's off limits. The Financial Times, who've never been wrong about anything, never falsely reported anything, and are completely infallible, posted this: Japan to court Tesla on Nissan investment in exchange for US factories. One of the men mentioned in this alleged plan to approach Tesla put out a statement: I have absolutely no involvement in what is reported in this article and am unaware of any such moves by the Japanese government. I'm no longer with Tesla, but personally doubt if Tesla has any interest at all in Nissan's factories, as Tesla's factory design is so unique. Elon Musk responds to this: the fake news strikes again. However, Hiro Mizuno, previous Tesla board member, doesn't exactly work at Nissan today, so he's saying I don't have any involvement in this. The Financial Times reporting he does. So the question really in this video will be, is there any truth at all in this article? Because historically, in recent months, we have seen the Japanese government getting involved, desperately trying to save Nissan. So we'll actually read the article. Now look, it could be a complete fabrication. Maybe it's semi-accurate. Maybe it's entirely true other than Hiro Mizuno's involvement. But make no mistake, this won't be the last time a genuine discussion between a Japanese automotive manufacturer and the Japanese government takes place, which goes something along the lines of, you're fucked, and if you're fucked, we're fucked, and we don't want that, so let's try and figure something out. If a Japanese automotive manufacturer implodes, that ain't great for the Japanese economy. Check this out. Japan to court Tesla on Nissan investment. Japan's former Prime Minister and an ex-Tesla board member, who, as we've just seen, has already denied any involvement in this, plan to approach Elon Musk, probably on their knees, begging for help to save Nissan. Good luck. We'll get to the full article in just a moment. Elon has already responded to this though, but first a quick summary. A high-level Japanese group led by former Tesla board member Hiro Mizuno, and including a former Prime Minister, is going to try, do or do not, there is no try to persuade Tesla to invest in Nissan. The group believes Tesla might be interested in acquiring Nissan's manufacturing plants in the US. Several board members at Nissan are aware of the initiative. So, got to take a quick break here. As we know, this alleged Tesla board member has already said this is bullshit, at least I have nothing to do with it. We have to ask the question, is this a complete fabrication, or is something brewing behind the scenes? Was something mistranslated, miscommunicated? And did this rumor come literally out of nowhere? Is there a grain of truth, or perhaps a Mount Everest-sized mountain of truth? I don't know. What's more probable? This is a complete and utter fabrication, everything total lie, or is it possible that the Japanese government did actually have some discussions, maybe behind closed doors, and maybe the Japanese government said to Nissan, hey guys, you're kind of fucked, and if you're fucked, we're fucked, e.g. Japanese economy, we don't want that. Is it possible that you could start selling off some of your assets to Tesla? Would they buy them? And maybe Nissan said, maybe, but really meant, no, we've got nothing of value to offer Tesla. Like, is this where the rumor came from? I don't know, but it is worth wondering out loud. But let's proceed with this article. Read as it appears. Try to make sense. Does this make sense? What's going on here? If this were true, if there were some truth in this, would it make sense? Spoiler alert, no. The plan to approach Tesla comes after Nissan walked away from Honda's $58 billion merger proposal covered at the time, and also predicted 5 fucking years ago, bro, there's going to be mergers, acquisitions, partnerships, joint ventures, and then bankruptcy filings. Each of these are steps along the way to an inevitable bankruptcy filing. They're so desperate. Now, Musk has already pointed out, and this is important, in response to this, as he says, quote, the Tesla factory is the product. The Cybercab production line is like nothing else in the automotive industry. In other words, good fucking luck, bro. We don't need your fucking factories. Now, there is a caveat, right? If these are a total fire sale, if Tesla can pick up essentially a huge plot of land all in for like a penny on the dollar, like 1% of their market value at a total fire sale, I mean, they did this with their first plant. If after they factor in demolition costs and etc., right, maybe it might be a good deal just to pick up some land for future sites for factories, production, logistics, who knows? But there's no intrinsic value whatsoever that Nissan could bring to the table, especially if they're literally offering Tesla to purchase, or hoping Tesla will purchase, manufacturing plants that are already tooled to produce what is in essence the horse and buggy. And even if they were tooled to produce electric vehicles, it's not on the next generation modular manufacturing system, as Tesla calls it, the unboxed system. So there's no value here. The next question then would be, why would Nissan give away an asset for a penny on the dollar? Unless they're on the verge of actual bankruptcy. Ooh, maybe that's what's going on here. Uh-oh. Why would they be willing to do this? So again, ask the question, is this a complete fabrication, or was there a grain of truth? Did a meeting happen between Nissan executives, senior management perhaps, and the Japanese government? They at least float this idea. The only reason it would make any sense, I mean, is if Tesla's getting these things for like less than a penny on the dollar, absolute theft, basically. But then why would you even sell them unless you're so desperate you're willing to sell something for less than 1% of its actual value? If by some miracle a deal was to take place, the terms would be so unbelievably favorable to Tesla that people would write about this in business books for probably centuries to come. There's nothing Nissan has that Tesla needs, unless they need some of the land that a Nissan factory is currently sitting on and they're willing to offload it for 1% of its actual value. And as I mentioned, by the way, legacy auto companies are all fucked. There's going to be mergers, acquisitions, joint ventures, partnerships, and then bankruptcy filings. But importantly, Japan is particularly fucked because the Japanese economy is so heavily dependent on their completely and utterly fucked legacy automotive manufacturers who won't be in business in the future. There's going to be huge job losses. It's going to massively affect the Japanese economy. And Japan itself is already fucked due to massive population collapse. They've got an epidemic of actual adult virgins that don't even leave their homes. By the way, there's an actual word for this. I don't know what it's called, but there's like a name for people that don't even leave they live in their parents' house and they don't even leave their fucking room. The whole society is imploding. They can't afford to have a huge slice of the economy just disappear, but that's exactly what's going to happen. So the Japanese government are desperate. They're trying to save their economy, save their country, and save these Titanics, but it's not going to work. So the article in detail in just one moment. But first, it ain't just Nissan having issues. Check this out. Polestar, a company named after some of the questionable women I happen to know in my 20s, sends this out. February offers. We aren't certain if the $7,500 EV tax credit will be here forever. But in lieu of that, Polestar is doubling down. For a short time only, Polestar is offering a $15,000 Polestar clean vehicle incentive. With Polestar 3 the right choice and the desirable, who cares? Yeah, cool story. Now let's pass exactly what we've seen here. What they're saying is, we aren't certain if the existing EV tax credit will be here forever. So they're trying to get people to hurry up and buy a Polestar vehicle. And now they've invented what they're calling the Polestar Clean Vehicle Incentive. They're literally giving a massive, gigantic fucking discount to consumers desperate to move a few more vehicles. And I guess given the way that human psychology works, this is probably better than just cutting the price of your vehicle. Oh, look, Paul, $15,000 Polestar vehicle incentive. Oh, quick, honey, we better buy one now before the Polestar incentive goes away. As opposed to the price just having been reduced. But bro, Polestar aren't making money selling electric vehicles, as far as we know. Why would they be discounting so heavily? Unless, of course, they're having trouble selling their vehicles in today's current climate, with today's current interest rates, also competing against companies like Tesla. So Nissan collapsing, Polestar looking pretty desperate here. Oh, but wait, there's more. Even the EV startups, everyone's favorite EV darling, Rivian. Check this out. Rivian today said that they expect to deliver between 46,000 and 51,000 vehicles in 2025. Mr. Breaking News himself taking the time to compile Rivian's annual deliveries going back to 2023. Notice something. 2023, 50,122. 2024, 51,579. Almost a 3% increase year over year from a relatively low base. 2025, 46 to 51,000 projected. So essentially, Rivian, a growth company, an EV startup, going from a very low base of around 50,000 vehicles delivered in 2023, flat for 3 years? Well, hang on a minute. How is that possible? Oh, wait, I know. If only Elon didn't endorse Trump and wasn't distracted and had to run some Super Bowl ads, none of this would be happening. It's all Elon's fault. See, customers aren't rate sensitive. Elon, why do you keep ruining and destroying the brand? Oh, hang on. Oh, wait. Oh, this is about... sorry, I thought this was about Tesla. Hang on. Well, that's awkward. Maybe it turns out that possibly in today's current economic environment, with crazy inflation due to the insane spending after the scamdemic, trillions of dollars pissed away, and of course there was the futile fascist inhumane shutdowns and then the supply chain disruptions, an absolute clusterfuck. And then following the crazy financial stimulus, which resulted from the crazy futile fascist inhumane shutdowns and all these businesses blowing up and we went through that. Then out of nowhere, interest rates went vertical and remain sky fucking high. See this on screen, folks? A decade of historical interest rate increases and decreases. And you might notice something. Rates were effectively, give or take, 0% to the scamdemic. We have massive cuts after the scamdemic hits. There's panic, there's shutdowns, then rates plummet. And then instead of things getting back to normal after everyone realizes, oh, the only people who are dying here are fat, old, unhealthy, and have a bunch of comorbidities. Let's get back to normal. The insanity continues for a few more years. Rates sit at zero. Crazy financial stimulus. And then rates go to the fucking moon. Never before have interest rates increased in relative terms from such a low base to such a high point at such a quick rate. It's never happened before. Nothing like this has ever happened. In the history of the Fed, it has never happened. And it turns out sky-high interest rates affect not only consumer sentiment, but affordability, people's ability to finance products, mortgage repayments, businesses. I could keep going on. Not a great situation. And rates are still approximately here. Now, funnily enough, look at that. 2022 and then 23, 4 and 5 Rivian vehicle delivery is going to be flat. It's almost like there may in fact be a little bit of a correlation between interest rates and consumers' ability to or willingness to purchase and or finance a vehicle. The second largest purchase any family's got to make. Number one, of course, being a home. I guess that means all the DMFs who were shrieking about Elon being distracted or destroying Tesla's brand or just run more ads, Elon, don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Oh wait, yeah, I told you that. I told them that. And then they blocked me. Anyway, now that we're done doing the quick detour of other companies that are completely fucked, back to the article. A high-level Japanese group that includes the former Prime Minister has drawn up plans for Elon Musk Tesla to invest in the struggling car maker, Nissan, following the collapse of its merger talks with rival Honda. So for those unaware, there were reports that the Japanese government had been heavily pressuring Nissan, Honda, and potentially even Mitsubishi for some kind of merger. However, as Reuters reports, Nissan and Honda's $60 billion merger talks collapsed. It's alleged that Nissan was in deep trouble late last year when rival Honda offered a lifeline, a $60 billion merger, essentially, that would allegedly help both Japanese automakers compete against Chinese brands, which at the time I covered this made no sense. Two Titanics merged together, it's just a Giga Titanic. And then the rumours today that have already been denied, at least from people who were named in the article, hasn't been denied by Nissan that I'm aware of yet. I think it is safe to say that Nissan is still in deep trouble. Whether or not these rumours are legit or otherwise, we don't really know. But I've got a sneaking suspicion that there was at least a grain of truth in the reporting we've seen today. I'm going to skip some of the boring shit. The group is hopeful Tesla will become a strategic investor since they believe the world's largest pure electric vehicle maker is keen to acquire Nissan's plants in the US. The factories would help it boost domestic manufacturing in response to Donald Trump's tariff threat. So again, I was a little bit hyperbolic before, but the only thing of value that Nissan has in these plants is if they're completely stripped, or Tesla can strip them out for almost zero cost, buy them for essentially nothing, and then set up manufacturing lines to produce the next generation, the Cybercab and possibly Optimus humanoid robots at scale. We're talking essentially land value and maybe some slight time saving if the foundations are laid, groundwork's already been done, so you don't have to spend a few extra months getting things up and running. That's it. Only way Tesla would have any interest is if they're being sold for probably not even a penny on the dollar. So just to recap, it makes absolutely no sense for Tesla to buy Nissan's US factories unless they're so fucking cheap it's basically theft. In which case, I mean, hey, why not? But then why would Nissan want to sell these things? Unless they're on the verge of collapse and they're so fucking desperate, they're willing to give away an incredibly valuable asset for essentially nothing just to get rid of it, to stop the bleeding. As I sit here, I do scratch my head and wonder, was there somewhat of a grain of truth here? Were there some meetings between the Japanese government and Honda? Was this idea floated? Or is the entire thing nothing but a fabrication? What do you guys think? So I'll cut to the chase. Nissan's fucked. Japanese government's trying to get involved because they realise the Japanese economy is going to absolutely fucking implode when their legacy automotive companies start blowing up. By the way, funny thing, they haven't yet started freaking the fuck out about Toyota, their largest automotive manufacturer, and they're most completely fucked. I mean, it's been 5 years now of me ripping on the utterly incompetent, super compliant doormats over at Toyota. Yes, boss, great idea, boss. Bunch of fucking weak pussies over at Toyota. Not one person in that company with any sway whatsoever has pushed back. You've had leadership coming out over the last 5 years saying shit like, well, consumers aren't ready for electric vehicles and we're going to pursue 4 independent forms of propulsion because we don't really know what consumers want and therefore we're going to give them the choice. They've been pushing hydrogen, idiots. Hybrids, idiots. Internal combustion engine vehicles, idiots. And electric vehicles, including the incredible catwalk across the keyboard, one of the worst electric vehicles automotive manufacturers ever produced. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And Toyota are screwed. I've been roasting this company relentlessly. The dumb shit they've been saying in public. Refusing to move, to focus, to go all in on electric vehicles for the last half decade. But due to their scale, it seems as though people haven't quite noticed the breach in the hull, the water leaking. The lower decks are completely flooded. They haven't even realised yet. It's so fucking big. So here's something that I'm going to predict. Eventually, when the Japanese government in particular realises how completely and utterly fucked Toyota are, Toyota stops deluding and lying to themselves, and the Japanese government realises they're going to start panicking, and there's going to be some of these insane proposals as well, but then involving Toyota. And here's the big curveball. A giga merger. All existing, if they're still in business, Japanese automotive manufacturers. The idea might even be floated for them all to combine in one massive conglomeration. A gigantic merger of all of the Japanese Titanics in a desperate attempt to save the automotive industry from imploding. Spoiler alert, it's too late. They're already screwed. There's nothing you can do now but abandon ship. So don't even bother. It's amazing how blind, how arrogant these companies have been. The writing's been on the wall. The irony here, years ago, it was like, let's check. 2010, pre-IPO, Toyota and Tesla had a partnership. If Toyota had competent leadership, they would have seized this opportunity, doubled down on the partnership, utilized Tesla's technology, scaled up their own electric vehicles using Tesla batteries and powertrains, and Toyota would have taken a massive slice of this huge opportunity. This was 2010. We're 15 years later, and these morons are still publicly saying the public's not ready for electric vehicles, plus they're too expensive, and there's not much charging, so we're not even going to try. Bro, the Japanese auto industry, and as a result, Japan itself is in big fucking trouble. And while today's rumours may not be entirely accurate, I strongly suspect there was at least a reasonable sized grain of truth, and absolutely guarantee this won't be the last time an actual, real discussion occurs between the Japanese government and a Japanese automaker about how in the fuck they can avoid going bankrupt and destroying the Japanese economy. Spoiler alert, it's still going to happen anyway. Want more content? Early access? A bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, or I can keep going. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs.